So yeah, yesterday I talked to you about what my full-time jobs was, and just giving you a little bit of history and backlog. Today I'm going to talk about all my side jobs that I was doing on top of those other jobs, and that's how I feel. You got to throw something out there. You also got to do something with that extra time you got, because everybody's got extra time. Um, you know, so what do I got? So, like, I always been playing with cars. Like, what I would do is I'd buy a cheap car, like $800 or $1,000 car, fix it up a little bit, drive it for like 8 months to a year until something went major, and then I'd part that car out, buy another car, and as I'm parting the one out, I'm driving the other car, same deal, like $800 to maybe like less than $2,000, and you just learn that way. And I've had a lot of cars, and what happened though was I'd run out of room for all that. So that little car, it might run good, or I might find this even better thing. I know the car's starting to go out, so I'd sell the other car for like $400, just giving away just over scrap. Even though it's got a ton of components, because I ain't got the time and I ain't got the space to part it out. So yeah, I did that for a while, and that was great and all. And then after that, I started to just get dedicated into hard work. And what I would do is I'd find like an 8-hour job. I told you I was working red iron. Like, I'd work red iron, but then I also work like a mindless part-time job. So I was working when I was working that red iron, I was working 8 hours and 8 hours. And I had like a 40-minute drive time in between there. In that 40-minute drive time, I would sleep at like a rest area for like an hour, and before the other shift would start, and then in the parking lot of the building. So I'd get about 2 hours of sleep. I know, but like I was young and all that. I was able to do it. When you're young, you can do this. And like I would do all that. I mean, if you think about like a high school student that's working, they're doing two jobs. You're learning during the day, and then you're working during the night. And I mean, you got that. So like after that, I did that. I've always done that. I've almost always had two jobs, except when I was driving truck. Now, when you're driving truck, you're limited by regulations. You can't do anything else. I mean, you can, but you can't. If you got a side hustle while you're running truck, they're going to say, well, we can prove that you weren't sleeping or whatever during this time off. I mean, there's tons of stuff you can do online, but like so at some point I just was like, that's why I don't drive truck, because I can't do the other stuff, and I wanted to move it on there. But that was my little thing. So I got out of trucking. A lot of reasons for that, but the main one was I wanted to actually start a business. But once I got out of trucking, I did a lot of small jobs, and like those small jobs, I do stuff like just a mindless job. So I do a mindless 8-hour job during the day, and then do something like a 4-hour job during the night, or I do Monday through Friday, and then on the weekends, the Saturdays and Sundays, I would work 12 hours, or I would do or like 8 hours, 8 and 8, something like that, 6 and 6. Where I'm at now, the reason where I'm at now is because the foundry I was working before this was half a mile away. So I was going to work at the foundry, and then I was going to turn around and come here, which is really close. That was going to finish up at 4. This was going to start at 6. Unfortunately, they changed the schedule and screwed everything up. So I was like, you know what? This is a much better job. I'm just going to cut that one out. And then I started a business. What I do now is I run the business for 5 hours during the day. And then after that, I work 8 to 10 hours a night. And then I go back to the 5. That's actually a pretty relaxed schedule, but then I'm actually working a lot more than that. There's a lot of, but the thing about that is when you're doing that, I'm actually learning during the night, preparing for the day. Sometimes I actually post during my shift, and then when I'm done with that, I can jump to, I'm ready for the next day. I got everything planned out. You can learn so much if you just keep something in your ear for 8 hours. You can plan stuff out. There's so much stuff out now. And like that, so always had something on the side. And like you can have everything going on, and like even where I plan my house, like if you're going to start a business, you got to think about where that business is going to be. Like where my business is, I'm in Michigan, If you look at the map of Michigan, you'll see Grand Rapids and Lansing. Lansing's the capital. You're going to see, all right, in between those two is where I live. So I'm 30 minutes from here. I'm 30 minutes from there. I'm like 30 minutes from another one, 30 minutes from another one. I got like 2 million people radius within half an hour. It's just something that you got to plan on, because, you know, I actually do want to move into local pickup majority. But even like starting out, and I'll talk about the business later, but this is just on the side hustle deal. But you got to just start planning out, and more time. If you can work a mindless job, you can plan stuff and design stuff and do your little projects on the side that maybe you can build a business from, just from working these mindless jobs. Even if it's only 4 hours a night, that's still a nice paycheck when you add it up. So like, and you know, get you some capital that way. But working them side jobs, I know it sucks, but if you got to do it, you got to do it, and it's a multiplier. Like, even if you're going to work 2 hours, maybe you're going to work 3 hours on the weekends. I don't care where it is. If you're going to work 3 hours on the weekends, that's going to add up. So like, throw that out, get yourself a part-time, do a secondary, because it's going to let you, even if it's a mindless job, you're going to be thinking about other things beside the job most of the night. So yeah, thank you guys. Have fun.